happened to the IGG? Why don't the victims of corruption report those incidents to the office of the IGG? That's what the purpose of that office, you remember. That's what the purpose that if anything goes wrong, you report. Now the fact that now I must create another monitoring unit. So what happened to the other one? So if it's not working, why should we keep it? That's what the purpose of that office, to protect the public from corrupt officials, to protect the investors against corrupt officials. The IGG should reflect on this. Are our staff credible? Why does the public not trust that institution? We need answers.
If you look at the number of farmers we have here, majority are women. And whether we like it or not, this project is totally in the hands of women.
Tonight, one news station has access to information that no other station can get.
Access 96.3 FM.
Okay, now I'm going to see what silence here. If not on vibration, you can never vibration. I can never say that they're on it. You're on so many. Can't go to the Casudabia. Then, for the part of the clear signal, we will not be receiving the other calls. I'm at the moment that corruption move. Because it is basically I blame my purpose. Fight corruption and promote government projects. Okay, dear listener, it's 13 minutes after 10 a.m., 27th of July 2024. It's your parliament program. You call me Govule. You are host for this very talk show up to the hour 12 p.m. That's when we shall be saying bye-bye. The room was full of guests, important guests actually. We'll be discussing about the corruption tendencies in parliament and why the youths, because the politics of these days, with Mr. Dramani, we used to say youth agenda. If the youths are on the move to say, His Excellency, we are supporting you and I want to come out to say we condone corruption in this country, the police are saying, no, don't go there. It's a no-go zone. Robert Chagulanyi says the other time he will be joining the youth in the move. We didn't see him. Dr. Kizabesje, who was brain behind, is in Sweden. Now, ANT, the one of Mr. Ephraim, we no longer see him on the road. That's why you see the guests are here. Mr. Govule Francis, the youth chairman for Marathon District, will be here in a few minutes' time. He has just updated me, and Honorable Leti Yophas is here. I do have a very important guest here also with me, Mr. Dramani, who is the Deputy RDC for Marathon District. And he's a very good mobilizer for General Muhozi and the NRM. I don't know whether they are, both of them are together. Actually, Ephraim will separate the two because he's for NRM. If you West Nile, for Gragira, Mamuyonja, Batarandra, and Zamavora, then in Fizune, in the Zumuzuni Parliament here, President 7, under Rabaz, and Bekafui by Tizu Yazokene, in corruption, Squang, Goma, Tisul, Malera, in there, Manguko, Tirarsi, police can do another name, Muranako, Parliament at the Minimuzo, Tizuleko. That's why I'm on the Batarabamba. I'm having a similar number to Quazira or Suiri, Nalu, erasing person to be. Amamukurledni Peresawazia, Amani, or Kitabo, but to president. Metro Dida, yes. Miloman Mirusi.
Rusi, Mambe, I did Ephraim, my Mibe, Rosi Teresia, Madras Tiba, Meribasa, the Caribou Minister of Malia, Eo, Amani Munya and Romalia.
Okay, yes, I'm going to see the Kenderai.
What for listeners? Ma Dramani Collins, ma Assistant RDC, Marsa District of Leti.
Okay.
Our first Yamadachi Rusi Bombe Noop as of Parodia Mayor Central Division, Leti Yophas, near Dupis address, even Zeppin Pedia Radio Manager.
Just like Mantel there will be a very serious guest. He's a youth chairman for Marathon District. Govule Francis is here, and he's in the National Youth Council. His colleagues were on the road trying to say no to corruption in Parliament, and the police said no also to Parliament Avenue. You cannot access Parliament. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, the host and my colleague, the guests who are here. I am grateful to be with my brother and actually my brothers who are here. My name is Francis Govule. I am the district youth chairperson for Marta District and a member of the National Youth Council.
Okay. Abadi be wura ma mu ni ni pere di sawazia abatara de bazo ala di do deputy RDC no squadra di sama vle bara chavorisi Mr. Collins Dramani from Nigeria mina ndo zama vura RDC abatara di modria mi be follow closely as we developing one of your agenda to fight corruption and maybe even a drama vle youth malia pop bara district part so ko reason ke bara district ne no to corruption police or guardian man so what do we do?
Okay, our four listeners. Dikama ru Dramani Collins minta yoborle ma assistant RDC Marta District Vleri. Ifini adi corruption vodi ovunba luniko. One of my core roles as the assistant RDC is to fight against corruption, and I believe it is not one man's call, it is a clarion call that each and everyone should participate in the fight against corruption. We are actually following closely to ensure that the corruption tendencies in this country they are eliminated under all circumstances. We are following.
Okay. Maybe Rafa the follower, Mr. Dramani Collins. President, you under basically a tira. Our folk are bonita and radia. You're very keen. They are playing with fire.
Okay.
It is so contradictory. We will play with fire, or we continue.
There are procedures to follow. Alors, you cannot wake up in the morning, you're in corruption fighting.
Okay.
Which corruption are you going to fight? That is one thing you need to understand. Secondly, there are legal procedures you need to follow before you start demonstrating. The president is right, and people are all right also about corruption. Yes, actually, everybody who's fighting corruption is right. But the issue is, which procedures are we using to ensure that we fight corruption? So, it is, in my suggestion, youths were right. They were right. They wanted to move the parliament, actually, to talk about the issue of the corruption in the parliament. But the only challenge was there were no legal procedures they considered. They only mobilized themselves on the internet. They were on the social media platforms, and they ended up organizing themselves. But unfortunately, they did not make it because they did not follow the legal procedures. Let me make sure government inform authorities inform and law for corruption fight. Each and everybody should fight this corruption. But you legal process our phone.
Governor Francis, you legal procedures key. No, your youth have been blocked. And the youth, National Youth Chairman yesterday said, c'était à Kubana de la Kobizo.
Our default, everybody. Then the podi amuni yo anjo depini and rooms yazukene anyang bolo. Ira fajon zeni and the lebama na kini la ba gameti ya lete. Mangaki ezi obi maparia dike mangaki omokere maybe are Marta district the local government ya councillor and sans in say mane yo banitele councillor ba mangaki miane ni ata deni yo ba ngane kiliku for example ba send as allocated $1 million kaliorum. School is and out of the 90 million, Mimusu send a ban project a contract is about 78 million. So that is where leaders' eyes are supposed to be. Members of parliament, my role ke tutonena. Alors is a representation, oversight. And the third is legislation. So, back at the room, your parliamentary corruption. Badi amaji, amas. Abadele, buswa edro tezo, kanaba edro buswa tezo. And the Uganda there, your corruption, the being of you are so a bit touchy. Not only in the NRM government, there's always been there. In other governments, a bit touchy. But your area, corruption, katemingi, it affecting Goni. Allo. Send the government a bancho gakin, a becho ninja, sinira, basso ninja, sinico. Send the bancho gakin and afaris ni school sinir becho siku. In the Baranya primary, there are about 1,700 students, pupils. Ika mupi one yanzike larva. But send the pani gakin bugu the desk this, for example. The pani nazukini, after one of the corruption lady, a repulse sungon roare. So, first of all, alle condemn kini anji anjo debani be corruption sudaki. Ale condemn as contralo. Bo bikira other addition here kini okay legal procedure for local life. But Uganda there, you as kichi banira kini back any law follow. But other addition by the way, back any law follow. But for as long as intentional good avore, ovune kini eyo minimum ngadi eringa any adkiliko, they will always block you. We have ever seen people being blocked. In Parliament, Odria was complaining that the Deputy Speaker and the Speaker are running away from debate. In Parliament. So, it your cadicho on the level, my advice, Mante Garkini, yes, Bama fair legal procedure, the Kibama Yukara, but also let the government do the right thing. It's very unfortunate that at this particular time that the country citizens are coming out to fight corruption themselves. When we have institutions in government that is supposed to check on corruption. We have the anti-corruption unit in the State House, we have anti-corruption unit in Parliament, and in very many arms of government. The police are there and other things. But unfortunately, some of these arms of government and the institutions are corrupt themselves. People are giving money to the police. The traffic police. So this is the little we are seeing in corruption, but when it impacts big in our lives. As kuna alo, miga kene ekali furife police inera merely, but you never know. This overloading may cause accident. At the end of the day, you lose your life. So issue corruption fight is a collective responsibility. The state has to do its roles, but the citizens has to do their roles. But we need a collaboration. We condemn as National Youth Council that we really need to see those who are arrested out of office. Yesterday, in a National Youth Platform, one of the youth leaders in this country is saying that we should solicit money to bail those who have been arrested. And my comment is, National Youth Council is an institution of government that has to do its role. We have 3 roles of National Youth Council. One, to guard against youth manipulation, and to ensure that the rights of the youth are represented and very well. So we task the National Youth Council, and I'm happy the chairperson is in collaboration with the president to see how.
Maybe let me read something here from him. National Youth Council has called for the immediate release of young people apprehended during an anti-corruption march on Tuesday. On Tuesday, a segment of Uganda's Generation Zoomers, Gen Zs, demonstrated against the corruption, eating parliament, and several young people attempting to march to parliament were arrested by a joint team of military and police. Jacob Ayero, chairperson of the National Youth Council, asked the release of the detained protesters and advocated for a platform to discuss their concerns. Now, Ayero appealed to the leadership in the judiciary and the parliament to release all these youth without charge and to provide avenues for further dialogue to have them air out their grievances.
I want to thank Rwanda. On Thursday, Kagame fired the cabinet minister.
Yes.
Because of corruption. In Uganda, when
they're arresting.
In Uganda, when somebody is corrupt, the person is transferred.
They go to Luzira.
You transfer one corrupt person to the next entity. But we have to say that if we want Uganda to develop, we need patriotic minds in the people. But Mitona are patriotic, when you see things are touching you, the pain I feel is in a country like Uganda, where the issue of the per capita health expenditure in the health center 3 is about 300 Ugandan shillings in a quarter. When you try to compute this, because a health center, for example, 3 handles about 500 people, 5,000. But when you compute this in terms of the money that is sent in a quarter, it comes to around 300. How many Panadols can this one purchase? And on top, people go and even pick what's supposed to be for the public. It's very unfortunate.
Mr. Dramani Collins, before I go to Honorable Leti and maybe Ephraim, government sells 250 acres of prison land at 1.2 million. Govule was saying we need to be patriotic. Which means 250 acres here, 1 acre is sold at 5,000 Ugandan cedis. Prison land.
Yeah, I don't want to commit myself in what I have not understood fully.
It's on Daily Monitor.
Yes, it is on Daily Monitor. This is just a news. I don't want to engage myself in what I have not understood.
I was trying to read patriotism.
Yes,
one of your
I believe
if
if it happens, so this is completely very wrong. But I don't want to talk more on what I have not understood. So this is the naked truth of the matter. I don't want to engage in the issues that I have not understood. Concerning the issue of the government selling land, I don't want to engage myself in
I was
that.
just trying to relate to patriotism.
Yes. So about patriotism, Madi Odfo, in the Yodias, allow Odfo Midisana Yodasi. Iriadada, yo, correspond Vudi, the of the Balu Madinico. Ne citizens ki die for amve de kodo di correspond den wo afade back de wo. Niraku, afade all the manovs bo. Le ma ko de chance yon de ezo. Tio ma request there in alori. Oru see demonstration ban area, dem bani demonstration area badi azedi mu interest ndotro. Yo de ar de ba mingi ni mu yo de ngani, fazi di mu interest ndondo pe. Ogu ki yor male de ati, ba onzi ki yor male ati, teke woro yo agenda lori ayo lezo isaksidizo ndondo malia. So you have the government and your government yo azio ka di corruption riani ba ma dike didi. Ka ni bana di ria le ba make sure yo onzi mari aleni ayo. There are a lot of things we can use to fight corruption, not only necessary demonstration. When we create Mamu Susa Malia, we also misusing this word corruption. Sometimes the Omon Vengabarico Goki, Bonvabarico Goki, especially Kolo Convio Gobo, Barikinga, Padia, the Barpina Azo Boy Malia. In a look at Mabi Malia, Cargo Zone for Gundinibo, Abuni Padia de Resoyo.
Yes,
and
to back your statement here. Mr. President, who had earlier warned the youth that they will be playing with fire if they went ahead with the march to Parliament. Now, Mr. Museveni also accused the foreign agencies whom he reliably as bad enemies for always meddling in the international affairs of Africa to the last of 600 years through slave trade, colonialism, neo-colonialism, genocide, and economic exploitation, among others. He warned that those involved should know that Uganda is not neo-colon, where those shallow schemes can deploy.
Yes.
According to him, he says the march to Parliament was fully funded by the foreigners.
Okay, Madri Ale Nzemin Dini. Mobilization the youth area online, we had all of them. And I happened to be in one of the spaces, Amatendra. But you will find that most of these people who were initiating this program, they're out of the country. They're out of the country. They were trying to command this thing by proxy, which is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I know His Excellency had also detected that most of these people who were trying to initiate this program, they don't stay within the country.
No.
People like Agatha, they don't stay within. Actually, these ladies, they don't stay within. There are a lot of people who were already commanding this thing from out of the country. You see now, what is their interest in Uganda? It is true we are affected by corruption. Corruption is actually a cancer that has eaten the trust of democracy in this country. It is true. That's the naked truth. But the issue here is, who are the ones doing this? Which procedures are they taking to ensure that we fight this corruption? There are a lot of ways we can fight corruption. We can create awareness. Madalelu mini, uruwezini zikodo ba corrupt de conve, patriots zikba loga yu conve ogoi. Lobara mabi malia, lobara ma tisika ba gonve gondi no ba guni space de azoyo. Uruweziki let us create isolation, social isolation for these thieves. We should not continue calling them corrupt people. Let us use layman's language that badi ki uguoki. Corruption ya fazo onzini le bama fight ira. So yo there bani fight ira, but the procedure ngo okay ayo are bama fight. Like tamani yo bama badi ki uguoru, like now you are ashamed in the public, but there has to be on legal backgrounds. The legal backgrounds I mean, you should ensure that the person you are calling corrupt, you have a legal evidence that this person has been proved guilty and is a thief. By calling people by names, by assembling them in the public, I know they will have no space to sit and the corruption will start reducing. Because of this corruption here, you can see, we used to think about corruption in the parliament. Mr. Govule, I like how you analyzed it. Corruption has now gone to the villages. By this, you now see there's something which is happening right now in the whole country, maybe in West Nile. I want to mention this. It is well known that Paris Development Model government program earlier, there was an oversight. They did not budget for the data. A mere data. They did not budget for it. But now you will find by your deal, akwesingoni, arikinga beneficiary kinga senda zikono biti gaga adezo data zezora. But now, for example, musu group as Maria, but okay adre ba Kaliri. For instance, ba ongaluki Kaliri. Kaliri Maria, you will find this group contributes around, let us say 10,000 per person. This group contributes 200,000. And you ask yourself, ma data aka data ayo imbalu male ma data ayo alif Kaliri si. Ma ayo imbalu pi. Now is nigga ba the key. Send the money do beri alif tururi, for example, ba Kaliri vo balos mudidi e data ngolere ze.
Transport.
What these people, the issue which was not budgeted is only data. You ask people Dungon, these people are facilitated. They have their allowance. They have their allowances. Why should these people go extra to extort money from communities? Now you see, we should not see only the corruption in the parliament. We should not see the parliament actual the corruption again in the district. The corruption has already gone back to the villages.
Even the sub-county.
Yes, sub-counties. Let us have self-audit. Let us start auditing ourselves. Let us understand our corruption tendencies. You personally, you should start understanding yourself. Are you corrupt? We should all fight this corruption. It is regardless of who. It is now clarion call. It does not call for any party. It is not a partisan war. This is a clarion call for all the citizens of this country that we should do all possible ways to ensure that we eliminate this cancer in our country, which has underestimated, which has made institutions, which has created mistrust of this government. I want us to fight this regardless of our political affiliations.
Together with Leti.
Yes.
All about the Yophas, always mieti kayamini. Kamina farolora, ama dirmi bera, vama dirmi bera, even a chorada.
Our four,
But you have been citing violence.
our 4 minutes are on double. Yam yours. Corruption here, the angry ambamba. You don't address corruption.
But the arrest is the corrupt.
It was only a zero. It's as only the malaria has been the worst in this country. As coach are more open than before. Ukurubaki ugu style is be mu realize they are the sijo as period. Ngonewo. Corruption needs as village yale. You don't go at the lendo. Fair. Tadale afeki tadale raka aledore fighting dori is a problem that we have in this country. As it is now going more worse in all the corners. Museveni imwandra clear sa kololo arsi kini ibi okuiri parliament malia corruption si they started with the evidence issue the parliament malia corruption chirbo the under state of address kololo kan ba me join ba mo binga corruption the fight odu irisi Odeyoki Yeleki Bamboni joining to fight this corruption. But anira procedure zita RDC ni onzezu dunia letaba siwara garaka IGP manzeya azima signing. Then it is okayed for the peaceful demonstration. I call it peaceful because askari aziki polisi pia ni onzera social media, they call it rioters, but those are not rioters. Those are peaceful demonstrators in this country, which is also a mandate for us sometimes to demonstrate.
People belongs to power.
As
Even
ko
power belongs
ame
to people.
demonstrate, you can call biki demonstrate. Yo ini ne onzi renazuba motuta ini rare. In fact, demonstration da lo oza. Deozu kene ko kere yo nde don yare ba makodi amaza. Ba mobinga yo di maza kote di modre. Te odu irise. Kampala malia miga dini. As ko afoku mali ya madre bani tsozo chizuta amable reboze. The whole streets were full of members and the rest of the things and the UPDFs. That was to eliminate the demonstration that was to take place. Ria Dani corruption amavile parliamentary it's had in there onzi. Ndugu kanenesiane agadia ba mupere bobi azini kibo jijua azini majoba mu billion isusi yani. The Kedria MPs are marvelous. You know, somebody keeping billion. Tia mama imi RDC imi selingata sasna of Kaltunia Davafuzoyore. Where are they getting these monies from? Is what my youth wanted to ask. Baki selling billion tambazua, desu amavele okuki bitirio matente. Arojo afazio. Zila dria kamodia Kampala mami piara disimpi amauguni denzila di modria gafadre. Ikada koza. Zila dole deki ata mirita azini ki diara bata imuzombo ki fasende deki baki beta niki mpadria zwala leda. Though they were arrested them, the last mistake we saw, whereby I blamed president appointment as yodi bani anti-corruption as shizu to also oversee what happens in the revenue. In the State House. Ndugumi Rio Dinyara. Baba ni appointee.
You're like Orbaki, you're about a corruption actually.
Yes. Baba ni appointee. Legally, Baba ni appointee to head this was also somebody who was pinned and jailed because of corruption.
Ogono Gobi.
So, Ekadi Ogono Gobi ni Amadra, we don't believe in that. Because legally, a good aleri bani reposition as if as leta dani ba kerinze vo ma geli mudriteka berni position fenda te bani renzezo angaluli azia elisi yani afadi kidria ramani tsandife emipidre tuolo ame onze corruption drio afadi RDC ba fe midro pokeni kwa dan leta mi obiki ba PDM nyawarke mata sare midro ga PDM wali yako I'm seeing there's a problem in this, the way we want to fight corruption. Somebody has got 300,000, the person has been put behind bars. Somebody who has taken 2 billion, 3 billion has been kept out. And even monies of government which have never been accounted in this country, no one talks about it.
Like, do you have examples?
Mi ripale parliamentary ba mini yonze send the band State House help modere.
There is 3% His Excellency is supposed to take.
Not only Excellency, there's a money that goes, even supplementary. Last year, I had the list of supplementaries for last financial year, which is here, which is around 84 billion.
If you have the list, which means it is out.
No, that is what has been given, but how it is used is not given. Accountability is different from giving it. You know, those are two different things. Amana dreso amave leadership, akara disi ni selling fair for mudri, obi masenda zaro aziyezini. At the end of the day, RDC ni more obidi. If you are selling for mudri, alena my airtime ni selling turalo, amaya fadene deni, doar deni. Kani sende di awini azingangere ko reason deni iliflersi letaba muturingwara diara. That is how we need to work. But the demonstrations generally in Uganda, demonstrations are good to really give people the cry of whatever is happening. Because we are not able to create things, we are not able to move in the right way we wanted to move. But which best way can we fight corruption if demonstrations are not needed in this country?
They are allowed.
Which best? They are not allowed.
It's according to law.
They are not allowed.
Article
There are
1.
things that have happened. One time I was in Kampala, in Makere, we wrote a letter for demonstration. I was in Makere.
But in 2013, there was a walk organized by this lady here.
2012,
19,
Mba Oromisi.
2019, they went to
2012,
footing.
Mboromsi. As a
Organized
demonstration, Makerera. Even I acted, I was in a guild. I was one of the persons who brought the letter. Amejiki letter and Udrusibe Dridariarekine, the letter is nowhere to be seen. Mongolia Ranikiku. There's a way we deny some of the things to happen, but I will say that Afaler Kakimura, let us allow. And the police protects. Indra, Amana Afariki area police gives a guideline. A mini demonstration in the area, by Yadini, by Modini, you leave these people to demonstrate such that their anger can be released, and we see how the parliament looks into this. Matama niga amani afariki area amavile atavadi masirani ale sari ye demonstration ale bakoja ateke ama MPs dependent size of constituency area, we all go and stand at his doorway and wait for him to give us accountability what he's doing for us in the parliament. Go to your constituency, get them there. If government is not allowing us to go to parliament, that place is called parliament because the people are from our constituencies. Get them. Kaitsari yabo emimukiba kalina kaliswa turala emukerevura. Let us go and ask him what he is doing on our behalf in the parliament.
Madri Ephraim, you know, I just want to give a scenario. Sadese ekane MPs ke drike taking the speaker is corrupt, deputy speaker is corrupt. And I think the money that the speaker and the deputy speaker are taking are within the budget of parliament. Send the kita blame MPs ni nyariki. In andra nyaria, they were very quiet. They were very quiet. For example, trip there, travel inland there, party muyo there. Now the speakers have blocked it. They are the ones using it. I want to tell you, when I was in the Master District Council, there is a vote for travel inland under council. We were supposed to go for International Youth Day celebrations in Soroti, in the Jinja. I went to Clark to council. I said, now we are supposed to travel. Me, Bako Judy, who is now the ARCC of our city. We're supposed to travel. Give us the nights. I want to tell you, the so-called the speaker of the council and the LC5 chairpersons, they were hard on Clark. How can you allow these two people use our vote? I asked, whose vote? It is a council vote. So, you mean MPs in charge on Jodi? Vote it, MPs in it, ayo, in an andra ayo of Killy. Sadisi, speaker of the Ione, they are now complaining, there is corruption in this country. I appreciate what you are saying. We must begin with them. So we used to have constituent development fund. What are they using these funds for? Because now consolidated within their salaries and so on. And they use it for the right purpose. Thank you.
In Iraq, the money of the Azul Dugu, Bamani in East Africa and then is Leti Magufuli. You remember what he came with in Tanzania?
For you respect the dead.
I respect he was a very good person. That is somebody I respected so much.
Me, I respect President Museveni on fighting corruption.
You can respect, but what he did in Tanzania, I've never seen it in any of our countries.
Even not in Rwanda.
I've not seen it. Like saying that they go for benchmarking. The money you're talking about is the benchmarking money that has been going out, which Honorable Drea talked about. You remember we have over 500 people in that parliament, but to get the signatures, Odreas took how many months? 2 months.
But all about
signed the other day on Thursday. He signed on Thursday after 2 months. So my mini young barenze, we even started knowing that those monies are there after them being denied or whatever you're talking about. Those days we have not been knowing that they go for benchmarking. Each person is given every day $70 $720 per day. We didn't know about this. He can send that calculated in send that back over Ma your MPs kalina kaki money send it. Mamu 2 weeks. Send it akisi. Those are necessary expenditures. When they go for benchmarking, which change have they brought to us? Maybe they have gone to learn how to corrupt more. Because we have never seen change out of their benchmark.
Okay.
Yes. If you have seen it, you let us know in your constituency. We have to talk about it.
But for us, we have our bus.
That's why I'm telling you
bus.
the accountability is one of the things. Even the bus, yes, we have the bus.
That's
By the way,
accountability.
I'm telling you the truth. That bus will bring even the problem. Because up to now, whom can I ask when I want to hire the bus?
You go to RDC. Oh, I mean the RDC.
Who is the owner of the bus?
The community.
Those things are not there. They're not put correctly. So I want to tell you that we need to see how to fight this corruption correctly. If there's corruption there and they cannot realize it, it is the power from the people that we can realize that there's a corruption there. But the corruption we are fighting for is not going to help only the youths. It will also help the RDC, it will help the police, it will also help to develop this country.
Thank you.
That is what I can say.
We are going for such works. I'll bring in Leti now after, because you have listened to everything. Because according to write-ups on social media, this was proudly sponsored by Noop from outside Uganda. We are coming.
Yo nejinda yo kabisa.
But she's a minister of education and sports.
Ndugu mi Ephraim sawa.
Mini modri 10 minutes.
Emite yonjera dia mu vuchire. Di NRM ni matida independent ni aku minister ata suti yo de mali aku. Askuna njandra yo mabrobo. Gavi fan 7 billion na mavutia bayo ba mujimu hezi ni jijwa ye ngori ye afazio. Yebu chadi ala ambu amburi kiolo yebu chadi atemangalo lande. Ama baba juzi imango billion kalibi norome. NSSF ne. Uzi yango ivore billion kalibi norome. Sana sasa na value ka desa sire in trillions. Ba zinje yo yora mo direko. Mi mudi ndene Andre turisi ala dia ambu de lochoti. Bamturake di ndeke bavu Uganda airport Entebbe Madile
Uganda Airlines.
Uganda Airlines Madile eri of slim salary de million kalaro de na eredri agujwale we pre sende su million kaliri pie de jwale we zore ndugu ateka degree yemi chosende de suku be mu ndekere lonje balore nyanya odura si plate alo million alo turusu enya plate alo ba reba odura si mundu pie ngone ndekere matizu enya plate alo mene nyodura si million alo turusu ndugu sani andango pia ala tenga kan baba diti plate madria pia kan riki I repair and niku sanyo yini mu yoda daria ba ore cha sanyo bionzi because it was for chairman Kosase
yeah
sanyo yini yoda ovaria be threaten sanyo yini pere muze badri yoda malia muze pere bamtraki awer paradise ba only jiparezi yako tourist mabati ministers you awaki mabati bani de ba chandero de karamojo are bosi mabati le maru basi karamoja ma ruani endi for government donation basisi ada mabati azba je chuo lereko be der pi factory karamoja marusi be musu karamoja au ku parliament ya ministers pi ama varu dia mere be du ni perandru bale ni loko adiare ala te gudare maru nichi ama westralia be dadi karamoja ika karamoja ne Uganda sata world si the poorest sub-region number si ruoi bani origiria fare bi bare ba mze pi obiti aloro si odu aloro ni cabinet sitting mze ki min famity odu aloro ni afara bi bare ki dria speaker mangbar pie speaker tem ne andro aloro ni yora birinde imu yoki de inga ki obiti si isu mabati ibu katia ela faku mer speaker mi school na ngopi adi ji mabati ni yori bi ministers ki woro ba bianial na tutu pike eri mo adri be azini lugoro bi ba jikilu zira efuki you guys can buy partial yo you guys can buy sujo for good yo can buy ma asset as uzi ba sana da Govule ani yo yori drani per ba du versen ndun ba ma bati ndun ide be mu divini jikara moja still ba ni mu jida corruption e fibira ni ada ba bindra ya skara zalo yori malera e kudi yori ja send and yo GPD Buga amavu commissioner eri nupma MP ni parliament aba ber commissioner ba muri ba commissioner bo buga pi budget yevo remalia buga pi kini ajini derisi awor foru ima ibisone 1.7 billion ibasu bana perado bana jesu dunia kuri yana rem ni ikibasu amavu alum buga ama bobi wine yo buga yo me de onji Uganda skilo chande nyaba kila birisi NRM temi ne alo yo pe NRM kila birisi Bobby yo skini nupu la birisi niko kini NRM pe Uganda ma citizens ki la birisi la zo birisi ya then il send the bugani du million turto ida ba mo gore mble NRM fi war bugani askuni corruption sigibo askuni le pa ma bire imu yo nupu reveni nyande ama nupu aga Bugani si pera awani fu NRM fuki Bugani afuki amawira chinya pero bobi mumdo angwa kuyorare lina zedgade kile ile invite isu yori debo pera ndu Bugani afemini temi bine mi abawrole aleni Bugani ku
But you're pointing
at give me time awani dimu fubo turisi you azim dikane gade ma asieni ba me do achi bana na metia ba di mo achi do bana na metia be move ni sudole speaker me send ayo mundu fa do sanction fi kiri mi atiku aya mi ovun divini afara me iku UK the United Kingdom of Laya fa waraga kini ele speaker mo atiku o si bazi na tutu piandra mabatu kubare baziri ele ni bare keku ma atiku aya ele vina fa evo ambera ke matana leko androko ba bia revuri kale kai hura mo joki America eto andro pa baraleko hata eto ni mpori yako sele ndra kale ka huro ndio zimu ndo angwa joki suda afara drakidasi sasa chiniku elo a Kampala ni elo dia sia mvu ngoni elo dia sia a local dia ni ay ba mu musawer kini yo ni yo atane ya elenga ni isi waraga mundu angwa isu joki tia da joto UK ma yo kin jelu baratis joto dia be mu isu ngole US fa waraga jo azikibi dollar do inera olaya ndole American ndole ala fa US kibi ngode jo aziki do ila veni afa speaker matavina leko be everybody yo iri magaita de afa
United Arab Emirates
ya fa Dubai kirivini ngode joaziki vro ado ila vini zama na mataleko po tidinichi ina woka dugu agunga gazile na jomini dole UK to America reshire balo kala feleku United Arab Emirates di Dubai ya joki jodi senden rade ni mi salary susi speaker ma salary si MPs kisana ya miliyo kalisu min jo jesu mundu wangu alo ersili dusi wakuli ni siri dumino trusuri mu yisane ngwa Nairobi de amamaru musenya wadi ya free ina chawo ana danji nju etuombo ne white castle ali free ali free anjinyereke so dugu eyo de amani yo de dozo ndura nupuru de megana yo de amani e megaba lapia brisir nupkila
mataro
Dramani mi adu warku odu dress ya na mi to de nere mulo ngol le mi anya de so dugu ba lapia brisir of nupkila ne ko ani eyo de mi ne Kampala di adrini nupu jiniko ma de envio de malia yo de mi ne Kampala and e chapike ni demonstration adrini nupu jiniko turisi bakar mojo afa ba setikubo people district ya ke muki e ma MP jiki petition setikubo ma de kin dale setikubo re odu yimango ke MP de rima ru ba la ngoni dale odu yimango ke ba fe ba refienda parliament ya ala iwazi yeko I am 7 yongoni bama fight corruption mi kan nebo mi fight lakini min la fa fight ira am 7 le tichi dugu locally here MP must send their lisi enanga ba MP ma wadana ma jozi ni sheru derke match send the ni suru beko jozi keru de ti nikira so na corruption ni mi salary susi engaji lisi mi business as yo mi ezi Uganda vronga jomi sida masende msungwa jora ki in trillions value so bazi yo pikini e ane vranda de mo vidi kide ile tap andra de amon vinga bo obitini cabinet meeting ya le do ba corrupt ki olu sabida tichi de amon vi anete ngabwe do ni ba afa guwa de ki e do kile olu muzekini leko adusi ba mo yo kide ko ni investigation yere mu yobe efe ba mo lunga ba da maruki amedo ki follow ati anita dichi ane awadaki ba yo ngoni ba investigation ye yorki yango wor Kampala amarudi so in yorki area so agu kadi lebani adiani olu bi eteriosi
Okay.
so ala di yori badi le
Itaga, ami mu yor mi ter da walu tan check ba.
dai ba check
It's 11 a.m. The time check, proudly sponsored by Dini Soyeko Foundation, an organization that provides support to the less privileged, skill and train needy children, gives scholarships, and also reconcile broken families. Your favorite program, Radio Bingo, that has given radio listeners millions and millions of shillings is back. Bigger, better, and more reloaded. Now every day, here on your favorite radio Access FM, we are giving you more opportunities to win millions every day. Yes, every day, 1 million shillings is guaranteed to 10 winners. To be among the winners, it's easy. Just dial *281 *8# on either MTN or Airtel. Follow prompts by entering your mobile money PIN number to confirm your entry amount of 2,000 shillings. You will then get a message of entry to the draw. It is simple like that. Play anywhere, anytime to be among our guaranteed winners of the day. All winners will be announced live here on Access FM. Radio Bingo Reloaded is powered by Axela Gaming Technologies, which is regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Board of Uganda. Play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply. The best radio station.
Okay, daka tarua lodi sawa toi mabuti ya vaudana simu na kifiri wabo sering bila na Senegal after all dinaro ati bibio iri alu bibio madala telo sku MTN siditio dona kizela game technology vale amerombe radio bingo ya sazia minis kalite ba miliona na na sku Senegal after all fe bi rikies nda dilui dole de muradle ifi baka sarmalendi ninchozo dule ba hukenda rovole suzu bani itri bibio iri alu bibio madala telo sku MTN vodia simu de kama yakidura amanga bali potere kire rakakani yes ana timita ne mudran
ayo yo di ovni nupu ki la bris de ko ka nupu ki mo arosu arodi aniko ndugo yo di biba woro ane yo di charia sa dressa madi budget no elusi wani yo ibra rezara ka ko bridge ibra le tema bara ka ne kubwa holo azile tema gainera yo di mudi school jodi le tema ba classroom azia ndiara embaba wakala fe chaku yo di mudi de chas Parisia sub-county district ya ericha Kampala di budget baru de example kadi yo budget Uganda di educational try war Uganda spirit trillion na ba de mil na rebo official kidi trillion aziba di nieri disa na azin jefe parliament 3 million kalkali yani budget na mafidi efirkini budget 3 million na trillion na da de azin ba di trillion nieri sende trillion nieri da de manga so imajeba Parliament yara yo already di bani yani. You start Madrid yo yakini travels ngona ki is part of it. So but the mean ministry that ki di my budget has suda. But mean parliamentary ki mean my budget has suda personally. Send the bani mean speaker pin do ronje di ayu joki jesu mundu angwari. So healthier budget Uganda si p ka try district through ka sunazia di ka kitra dria echo itra trillion su. Ba helta de bini iri azili suda trillion iri senda da di bari ba jwa da pini senda ke chabo yi sanduku siri ne maga jibaku ba ki bank yako midine budget andra di ban le school siri ki dia chikili arojo siri ki dia chikili then midine senda azita ni trillion da maga su kalasi ejosi district Uganda na maya so ora mbu county azili mali ki josi. That is what is happening in Uganda. And this time midine ba Uganda di musu dele adia rusenda de pi dele adia rusenda de pi dele adia rusenda de pi medina nupu ndi yori ki ovari amve yo de chadi nupu leki yori ni ama yo drova Uganda ni so bakati yori ba kili ira ko fe perwa agweni are mudridi ai ko fe perwa rhino campaign ai ko fe perwa madia afa marachama budale ai ko fe perwa logiria pari woro malia eridi nupu diezi askuni nupu mazika composition mazi to check on government so muze e fighting corruption ko bazengo dualo boziri majote e fialo niyo tamadri yo wole baka minje marachadia baka na mi rudi kudia corruption zambamba ba mi jeji nebia kakba mi district ya katakuya ba mi garole agu na dere kudia zibo agu di ezi alolanga pari ezi ni malia. This is what Muse is doing. So Muse ntele reveni ba mele bu bazi corrupt ki mingi madre woro atipiro ani ikadi move them so de malia they are ovoni nup ma dem so ko azita irangoli eyo aze eyo kadi parliament in debo citizens ki di eyo rari erdingani. So he ma concern that even the law allows that some of the laws here, for example andra ban le age limit in jazo diare early president in diare parliament banda yori ji Ugandans ki be referendum ba vote na ba so pan ko bayo ba manjeli di ya karba manje ku two things better mawa party G komebe by your party D to remove comedy is not to remove but vote to organize the whole country referendum so adinra parliament maziku be peba marchani mati no aba oro yi gasi ndradi ami netia gasi honda bonzia pedia cha Kampala kini amati yo da vasi ine cho dikibo at the end of the day banje age limit la dra oko term limit ya ma bazi paoro mu ima county susrisi million toy salas million toy rangere term limit ndra ba 10 years 5 di banje relas age limit ya shidi ndrane sasa ni mzero mele di kalizi dinaro irum chakali arole midine tedo azita edeku agu mele ka chakalizi toyebo sore paku mzero tedo kalasi then bandu tedi password so ndugu eyo Uganda ya kiworo corruption my corruption mazin la diadi erma simu diere timi yer obe my revenue midine yo yewa Uganda ki sasa nini eyo asipi diardi asidi jo mingi government kayo jara asku government yemu cheki ndugu jomi si diara ma yemu zimitia jori mi sala rendre si jori ma sene msungwa jora be rozite
government ngoy
eringe mudi government ngoy yara la min loko ofuni bobi wa ndri afa mavu nupure ku government chinga pe chapre ask munagwagwa inita afa Zimbabwe Sudan yada Sudan mine Omar Basir Boda minister ja vikijo so government kayoja mi jori banguzite basinde go back to Uganda sada Gaddafi transition erma Greenland bank people du kiworo afa Gaddafi ma asset chichir ki bozi kiworo bo gwaredri Libya dri so jomi mi gadi jori ayu jori bi ayu ri kan du dia mi ayu ri bele jori ki dia go back. This is what going to happen. No, let me, you give me time. I want to finish. Me and you, Jody, Uganda. This is what is going to happen. Any person who will come to the presidency of Uganda will check on everyone's record. So, Jody, keep temperate. Boba, Maru or Eximo. Boba, Jody, Maru or Eximo.
Bank property.
War, not bank property. This is Uganda property. I take a piece of Mundwangwa, like Jomi Nesasi, a Fapivuda, Kaleka Pura Pivu, Min, Oku, Speaker Pivudi, Joraki already Ugandan property. Over to America, Biki Neko. Is Joraki Uzi, Joraki go back to government treasury. So, Eyomingareki, you are doing it on our behalf. We are happy that you are good at the development. So, Jordan King go back to Uganda. That's why they are looking for somebody who is going to protect these things. As they know that at the end of the day, they will lose all. Look at the next thing. So, as they mean you as anybody, example, corruption as in Gadi, or doing the petrol, Amavri. I will say, Mammy Rudy Killa Karu as Yasiku Bakwa can buy you anti the bar or do Uganda Madrile. 1. Ernest NT Rubondo, Executive Director. Number 2. Irumba Bright, Director Exploration. Dozit Abienamugisa, Director Refinery and Transmission. Penina Ahebwa, Director Technical Support. Dr. Joseph Kabsega, Director Environment. Justin Kasigwa Agaba, Director Data Management. Pamela Mbabazi, Wealth Development. Martin Muhangi, Policy Formulation Analysis. Wilson Bahati Kazi, Fiscal Director. Jackson NM Biarhanga. Denny Jackson Amukali, Human Resource Manager. Robert Morisa, Specializer to Emisiko, Land Rights and Survey. Biarhanga Musime, Chris Production. Who is the Abakonisi?
Are they qualified?
The Basa Singapi or Dumadile, Uganda.
Are they qualified in that position?
Whether they are qualified, they know how these names came. Who is Miniri or Jokinite?
Govule.
Rules your joking nga madripi afa langwari ki rules mineri dia adira balon ni diru ru bako opio dini mirira. So the Uganda, this one corruption, the president said of Babari Kini. So I would learning corruption the fighting all room. I'll tell you on Zagreku, them so Kampala and Uganda ni Biruni Nupieko. That's why Bobby is not there. Now you tedi Museveni Kediba, I'm very careful they finding. Okay, Dugu Miendri ni ere Maratana. Ekami square Sudia were, Mijirale, Ekami Bati Sudia were, Mijirale, Ekami Ndriezi Jedia were, Mijirale. But I'm very lucky, mid letter Marchale Akumir Mamuke. Marcha is a whole, and then you are home in particular. So, but I'm very lucky, oh, Uganda say, yo, yeke. Askuni, he might in the other, he might in the other, he might in the other. Like I'm a Bishop Frederick Drandu, Dranda, there, cancer machine Uganda, there, yo. Drasambia, there. Drandu Malevo, Drasambia. So, side by side. But like Kendra, a move of a riot here, a lucky Waragaji parliament. That was demonstration. If you can't see on go pay, and Arab care dandy, Noob care dandy,
They have 7 reasons.
This is the main issue. Ala yo azingeni rakin jaku. Lakini Waragaji parliament de mabo a less speaker diako. But I think the speaker and vote as organizing, but speaker and don't pay. Okuna de mawaro woman MP iri beto yo kira dia ma mo fuiki existe commission ako ifini departments ki okuni hedida ele dia ma kukiezi ko wa yo ndra ale buga the commissioner ro dikaku perandro NRM mi corrupted rudi buga ma ta peredada e gairen jesi ene che yo kira amale mu buga no jazo senyo nyisi leader of opposition there emiti your as if is your property is our property. So your mother could man le Nigeria emiti swalen de adios akayo buga inga de chabo alenga bi senyo isuda emiti kele mingi dinga no buki ga do you even do
But this is killing following you.
yeah, this is what I'm saying. I learn my feedback my directly and then I did your about simple corruption Uganda there by 25 teko sasini mozepi ma interest there ele imam vi mateda eri majority ma after the investments the ma sawa set up in any jo amante Uganda ki ayoko ani zote amana export obazubiki elenga ina ayoko te tambu limit ndra eli mudu da kandra yera sasini muze atedi da ambecha eli kaliri general moise katedi di efi ele pass of president mi Uganda ziala mi fivile ne sebo te mi le transfer directly ndugu yo nge yujite yo nge yujite tamli tanda le mudu da kanda ba kili le mudu da jandra bo ele tara veli kaliri James Fitadele Leti Fiterandra Madri afa fivindwa agwezi opio fivindra adefi aya afa muze mavika tebe mu ifi ko foruto ne fille batuka engada ziala mi fivinde amatevi supportive but this was dangerous aguru kazinga eli kalisu mvika munga kalisu devil very zobo vi ezira vi munga kalisu devil very zobo so Uganda will be a property of somebody.
Okay. Okay, really say now. I don't know how to
Dramani kuninje yoku ane bato marachandiedi.
You are the that will be off air. Let us proceed. Yes.
I would for Madrid Leti. Area that you there vini urife manira mini yo mi president other nupa be there your mala your fevini mani uri unjonzi. Because now the issue here is it is clarion call regardless of your party.
Yes.
It is clarion call that we need to fight this cancer.
The man that often no put your Malay spearhead this is we are part of it.
So now Bamane corruption there low in terms of money.
Yeah.
Let us see corruption in different forms. Yeah. We are talking about other things, even similarly here in our region here.
Yes.
Because of the porous border we have here. We also have this smuggling, which is also part of corruption. We should not only be focusing on the issue of the money.
Yeah.
But this calls for self-audit. Let us all audit ourselves. Yomi edikidi adaya, yomi edikidi clear, si obini raya. Te yo ko public ma fund bedi, yo ko public bedi. The type as more last, Nico.
Yeah.
It is a very big cause. I think I also do go. I can be involved in school. I can turn with the school go Maria. I can involve fair. I don't know do as in see. Afa de madrati. I don't believe I could. Me so small me go so. Me and the something. I can't get a master's kit or get a doctor's kit. Me used to go to streets, Maria. It has happened. There are so many people who are on the streets. It is just because their parents don't pay them with the genuine money, with the genuine fees. Some the diki, bazim dibi su bazim ni ne yematiki anguki uzika eki amfuki aka ngono diki dibi bazim ni ne yemanziki tulebo suri. But the clarion call here is let it be inclusivity. Everybody must participate in this fight, regardless of your party, regardless of your religion, regardless of your tribe. It is not tribal. Let's forget about ethnicities. Let us talk about the issue of corruption. How can we eliminate this? This is what we can do. Yeah. But corruption doesn't fit the question. And Yufuki, they are right. Because now the corruption had already eaten the trust they had for this government. But now our issue here is let us go back and start ensuring that the corruption tendencies are eliminated by all forms. But we should not call these people. Let's call these people blind, that they are called thieves. But as I said before, it should be on a legal background. Because I don't want somebody, I'm not actually informing somebody to go and to go so that he faces the laws. But the issue here is, if I confirm Oloka Nira Gudu, for any terror, Madriletu, Ugu, Aro, Aro Tabani Efe, Oku, Oporofumaza Kozodi, Bane Letu, Gudnirabo, Bomon Veleti Corruptico, Bomon Veleti Guni, so that the letting a space matter also be Mariayo. I can go to the I'm going to make sure. Corruption and Gokora. But ka yo the eku, akali yorunze, eka yokin eku, adia leader oniku. But now I want to tell about His Excellency. Emitene, the PS, Minister of Trade, we are all aware that he has been implicated of corruption tendencies. And we are aware that he has been fired by the president. That's some 2 days ago. She's already fired. This is a clear sign that the president is already so much interested to ensure that we fight this vice called corruption. So he was working the government, Goni president has taken long on. But by the way, for information, Leti, President only stayed for 3 years. I said 3 years because he has been frequently democratically elected. It's not. It is people's mandate making him to be there. Yeah. He has just been there for 3 years, because now it is just. When was the last election held? 2021. What is the grass period of Uganda's democracy election? After 5 years. Now he has just been 5 years. Because now, why should I say this? It is the Ugandans that is voting him, bringing him back in the power. It is the trust that Ugandans have given to him to make it there. Let us forget about the issue of rigging. Let us forget about some of these things. The issue is, democracy is all about the numbers. Are people following you? What is the number of people who are following you? This is what people always talk about. No, you see now, for example, now the people who are following Chagulani, the issue here is the number proportional to those who are following president? Is the number proportional to those who are following NRM government? These are the things we need to focus on. We should not be focusing on so and so has overstayed in the power, and yet this is a person who has been democratically elected after every 5 years. So I don't see that aspect of blaming.
You just came as a member. So there is one RDC, our assistant RDC. I don't know your statement.
Before you come in, I want to order go.
I don't know people
and then we'll go for calls.
Yeah. Ale you are American. Ura bani corruption nezo temadri Collins yakini ugu nezo Uganda diari pama neri lu you are desiko.
Corruption as in local leader. Corruption as in through alunil Kalir India Madrid down to the parliament and the ministers that are rotten.
You leave me.
We are looking at Uganda. I'm not arguing with you. And me argument kiji locally. This is a national, international issue. We are dealing with the country. That's why it is at Kampala. Leave this one. Let's look at where the house, where Uganda is being controlled. But Uganda is controlled Western area.
Okay.
Let's look at what is happening with the government.
Thank you. What is happening with the government? There are
Yeah.
levels of government.
Yeah.
And I'm aware you are aware of this.
Yeah,
There
I'm
is
aware.
national government where the
Local
issues
government.
of corruption, we handle issues of corruption.
Yeah.
There is the local government at higher level where
Yes.
the issues of corruption. And when we talk about government, we are not
We
simply
look at
talking
the
about
issue.
one arm of government. That's what you call a government.
Yeah.
Ale lumini mimu klinkia miarusu basirua check government of Uganda,
Not for sale.
not for sale. So now, but here ban in Zed Yari, ban it's all lose kini corruption at Uganda. We begin cleaning from ourselves, from home.
Self-audit.
We begin from here.
Thank you. You have mentioned it. Mr. Govule, the other time, Betty Kame said we should do a lifestyle audit. His Excellency stopped it. That they will run away without money and invest outside.
Let me tell you, governments will always do what is possible to sustain themselves. I one time mentioned here that the issue of politics is all about eating and sustain ourselves. I'm sure even when there is a government that comes, Tronte NRM iba, Tronte Museveni iba, Tronte Ade iba, the government in Angala nekini, young garp iberi ma fe initezopit. I want to tell you, most of the African leaders, especially people like President Museveni, Paul Kagame, these are people who have come to office through a lot of thick and thin. They have also studied from other countries and through past experiences that you as meaning simple or Leti, they can change, they can lead to national riots which can change government. Government, I mean, it's like that. Unless the oppositions and people who are like this come boldly. I like Raila Odinga. When there were issues in Kenya, he came and said the issue in Kenya is not about Ruto. It is about bad policies. In Uganda here, man also corruption ma you're the key. There's a man tell we must look into the laws and policies in the government. Number one. Number one.
Why is the law running away from?
We need to look at that.
The issue here is law. By the way, very many people are now above the law. Now that's one. Two, I'm arguing with you along that line. Two, every year, ministers, MPs are supposed to declare their wealth. Are you aware of that?
Not only.
No.
Not only.
I'm saying, I'm bringing for example.
Including
I'm saying
accounting officers.
I'm
Civil
saying
servants.
Civil servant. That's what
yo man badi
accounting
alu
officers.
batisi elia lolse ba waraki e ma mali
By law.
e ki fe Uganda ba mo ndi yodi nchera now do as the man musu ugura ki ele lo ali address kwari ka kweli okay lady serving bo they supposed to also declare their wealth le lo kwari se ba di mo over card yosi
Even your self audit.
that is
We are talking about
that,
self
I'm talking to you about the what you are renze ilu yozo mi duazi UK achi afa Dubai achi mi duazi America achi le lo kwari yosi and whose money is that me mvumi na fasazu ka
in that
so I'm not arguing with you.
Yes.
You start from there.
in the Europe, it comes back to our practices in home.
Then when we get to that, we arrest.
Amabo akwesi. Ata me akud lero.
Yeah.
Me choni lo sa zen me okon me salary susie.
But this is
No,
Uganda.
no. Let's look at this thing here in this perspective. Eh? Leti. Me okon ka tell music ni. This is now the member of this family. Eh? Erimizi. Send them ndo akudi si. Sa zen si make attend to sumilo modri me your million toy. This is what civil servants are doing. And what we are saying, we are condemning. Can we do the right thing? Banga you are dariji. Baka me, for example, me mbapini. Baka yo me mbanji. You be in class and teach. At the end of the dance, magaki. Mbame da yo inisi. Inarako. Because this is also part of corruption we are saying. Because me te at school from Monday to Friday. But me yo.
This is corruption.
This is
Exactly.
corruption.
Yes.
This is what I'm talking about. So let me tell you, Leti, yo mini nekene riweriada. Yo mindepi minipi. Send the MPs in it appropriate or parliament badini. It is a budget of parliament. Ata Leti, mi send the ga, mi musu, there can MP Jamin Sodani. Send the parliament here, MPs yani. Alwa minute yara. Anita ga send the MPs kita send the yani. Now, Anita ombedi ma richi. Sadi serve yani edika lenga bani. Ina boko. So, your choppy ma immediately affect EP. Budget the parliament here, pa ma make sure, pa me issue on boni. Sender ma zita de fopi e ma sekala da di mumini aroje ngon. Te yo sar mi affect ipi rare. Eri aro kadri health center wa ko gute. Ba mi ba ji be su aroko ba ni dra da mi affect. Azida MPs ne manganya ma sekala. So what we are saying is inira but you under audit in payroll and they got over 6,000 staff ghost
Workers.
okay. Send the gas bana virisi. No, you see this. And this is corruption.
That's what I was talking in terms of ministries.
So, yo bancho gaskundra amanjo dero amadichezio te dole baziki alifu Asia exende nya te yezio.
That was what I was talking in ministry. Now Amadi opposition akadi orikiji to the limelight. Hey, Leti Peki, hey, Bobby Aro. Why? You run it baza kwa warfo.
Okay. Calling Sibara Ephraim Dimwi the Bass.
Mr. Leti yo man disagree on berialo. Yo mini yo pa man ngalo corruption ko pour Kampala ra yo.
No, we are talking about demonstration in Kampala.
No, we are talking about corruption. The cause of the demonstration is the corruption. True. Let us start seeing the corruption from our households. Me if kitande tiada, yo do corruption is sekida. Eka modo sitting room away to the rekum sit eco bedding room le dirty. This is wrong. These people in Kampala, they come from a place. I like how my brother submitted here. Ephraim submitted here. But they are going to come back to us. And let us start clearing from home.
Our home is
because now
the home is parliament. This is the sitting room.
I believe
the home, but that is where the cooking is done. But you gotta keep all of the start from parliament.
But your man start begins from home. Even the home is you yourself you start auditing.
No,
yourself.
the issue here
right from where you sleep. Up to the bedroom.
In a case
from the bedroom up to the sitting room.
I'm not arguing with you.
I am saying
your meaning in short.
Kind of becoming.
I'm not quarreling. I'll make that clear. Our home is the parliament.
Yes.
That's where everything starts from.
I want to correct this properly.
No.
I want to correct this
not
properly.
No.
This home we are talking about, the manufacturer of those homes is us from home.
From home, exactly.
It is us who send them.
Okay, in your perspective.
Make it.
Let's not go by your perspective. But what I know is the cooking point, kitchen and marvel is the parliament.
Ephraim submit.
You see,
going for calls.
what you talk about the manufacturing, what you talk about manufacturing, let me tell you now. What you talk about manufacturing is now the formation of the budget.
Exactly.
In the parliament.
Yeah.
But
That's
the human
where
beings,
starts from.
the human beings who make that formation there are from here.
And let me tell
That we need to
you,
count. No, I'm telling you the truth. But the issue of you telling us the budget formation is in parliament is correct. You get it? But let me say this, members, we have left this budget or the corruption to now grow more than that we cannot control at this point. Why didn't we start controlling? Right now, the government has over 5 structures fighting corruption in this country. There are now 5 that has been formed since 2002 up to now. There are 5. I've not counted the RDCs and RDCs who have been put to also fight corruption.
And very soon they want to recruit 4,000.
I've not counted
4,000 corruption fighters at village
my
level.
youth chairperson.
Come here, propose
As I'm telling you, these days
Alongside you
in
people,
each
RDCs.
district we have 3 RDCs to fight corruption. Help the president to fight the same corruption we are fighting. In the 146 districts, in a rural district, a rural city here, we have 6 RCCs fighting corruption locally. On top of it, we have left the police and the army are still working with us, fighting the same corruption. But we have failed. Are we going to bring LC ones now?
No,
If the guns are
Kenya has
failed,
also
if the
proposed
rest
another
are failed.
4,000 people. 4,000
You see,
senior
that is
force
the
at
problem where
Paris
we are
level.
now. But I'm telling you, the same thing happening right now. If we want to fight corruption, why should we allow ourselves to go and write letters, begin following the legal things before we fight the corruption? You see, that is where the problem is. Agu yopi mini bama di anyangolo tere emu ya askari dria. If you go there, you are playing with it. The fire. Now, what is the fire? Is the fire the corruption, or is the fire something else?
The fire is the uniform.
No, we were fighting corruption. You see,
Look,
our
this,
main issue is
I'm very
corruption.
mandated.
But why should we not allow people to fight that? Ndugu, why?
That's why what RDC was saying.
So,
legal
Madiminia
procedure.
Danze, legal is there, yes, but there are some things that if generally we accept, let us move it the way it is smoothly, such that we see that things are corrected. But
City room and our parliament.
that is very important.
Okay.
That's true.
Abafali amegomi simu lunaba tukwazira roriswiri na lurezeri. Just for 30 seconds we're going to have a break and then we're coming back. Bam, iba. Okay.
Nze madipido.
They've taken note seriously. Hello, Axis. Marty? On for you. Motu minisa, talk so much. Ayo jaribe. Mayo jaribia. Midwari. Oh. Bo to talk so much. Talk so ndonde. Ngonia. Amamuke adia. Bana komo kwa karibu. Yes, sir.
Judicial.
Yes, sir. Okay. Honorable Govule, but RDC will answer this. Hello? Come up for the Bernard. Bonnie. Ori varia karibu zitani kanigatani. Okay.
Let Yophas. Let Yophas. Let Yophas. Let Yophas. Let Yophas.
Okay. No, they're just. He said they were going to play with fire. Just. They are going to play with fire. Oh, okay. Everybody, got it. Hey.
As you mean,
I want for Karibu. Oh. Aku flow me. James. James.
Hello. Nazuri.
Ismail.
Nazuri.
I love Uganda.
Bala Nazuri.
Hey, ele Uganda kwa. Ele Uganda kwa.
Kini ile Uganda rate baji kaleza. Yes. Ishmael is correct.
RDC na vrani ya Ismail. Ismail kazo wafadi ya goni. Hey. Mado. Hey, kama karibu. Nemse. Minaba kisi. HDC 0776
34 95 Ah, yeah.
Me having a 34 95 67. Thank you. Still do gold there from KK. Gonia. Dumia, everybody. Christopher, Zitania Kanyoba.
Lakini mawali kupitia.
Hai. Agora tá lera com. Eu havia disse.
Mamea central ya.
Hey. Ari?
Willie.
Essa câmera de uma guest. Yes, essa câmera de uma guest. Existe. Tax pack ya Willie karibu. Allo. Irizule, sikiva hapo. Zata amanisi. Mwa mvida hapo. Okay. Wewe kwa tax pack ya rozobo. Rozo question bo. Goni. Alaro. Ole ba karibu Anthony sister. Hai. Arushi. Anthony. Mi ofe kwa vile mi opposition ya. Oh.
Ebeyo. RDC.
Lisimbo. But was kiri ma flow from bara ibere. Gonia. Adia. Engajo. Teragwa sister.
Very serious NRM champion. But now it's very difficult to defend the same NRM right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Many of these ministers are in NRM, but they're all sick. Recently, I saw Museveni in TikTok. Somebody posted Museveni in TikTok addressing the issue of this money lending institutions, robbing people's money. Taxes, high
Charges.
profits and so on. But if you ask who are the owners of these money lending agents, entities, these money lending companies belong to ministers, permanent secretaries, cows, CFOs. The people spending people's money in the rest here in Kampala everywhere.
Ninja yo.
But the second reason is the aware that these money lending agencies belong to the same staff of the council of ministers.
My brother,
Yes,
are you really serious? Is serious NRM?
very serious, but it's very hard to defend it as a
He's right.
From Kobo, Terego. Good morning. Who are you speaking to? Maratata Council. Question or comment? Comment.
The fight is over.
Corruption, maybe within the government, as a democratic government.
Yes.
But the leaders were democratically elected.
Corruption, government. Right now, I'm But I hope you're NRM supporter.
Now, Dramani Nico.
For such commercial break, calls are coming calls after calls, but now time cannot allow us. We're only left with 15 minutes to wind up this show. But short commercial break. Answer.
It's patriotism that the gentleman asked about. Second one is to fight about corruption. Then the last one is mobilization.
And security.
Mobilization for what?
Security. Then we mobilize people to support government programs.
Yes.
Like now. Like now. Yeah, allow me to answer some of those questions. We shall discuss that one. I know the time is not our best time. But the truth here is, I want to only focus everything on patriotism. Honestly, if all Ugandans are to be patriotic right from your household, I know the issue of corruption will be eliminated in this country. But the issue here is people are not willing to fight this corruption.
That's the work. It is hard to
yes,
to defend NRM.
The truth, yes. Even those who are calling, when they have self-audit, definitely you will find they have a record of corruption. Even like let the soul of late Jacob Olanya rest in a perfect peace.
Oh, you still respect him.
That gentleman began a war, and I wish he was around. This gentleman started the war. I know by this time we could have eliminated 50% of this vice in this country. But now we are not managing this because people are not willing to do it. People are not willing. Like now, when everybody becomes patriotic, you love your country, you love your neighbor, you love, of course, now when you love yourself, actually when you love your neighbor, definitely you will feel whatever. Let's have empathy. Let us. The issue here is let us have empathy. I'm not supporting any corruption tendency. In fact, I've already bitterly called them thieves. I don't want to sugarcoat these corrupt people. They so call them thieves. But the issue here is let us all instill integrity in ourselves. Let us all instill integrity in ourselves. Instilling integrity in ourselves, I know it can help us to fight this corruption. We can really fight this corruption. Then when you become patriotic, you love your country, you love yourself, you love your colleague, definitely, whatever you do. Now, take a scenario. You steal a drug in a hospital. You steal this drug and you go and sell it in your private clinic. Now, take a scenario, you were that person who could not afford to get money, and your service was to be that one, that is the free drug from the government office. Now, when you have that empathy, when you have that feeling that iyo maninga the akatanga bazini kalspas katanga money, let us have natural justice sometimes. You see, by doing all this, we can really eliminate this corruption. So, Mr. Govule, I know most of those questions we had to ask, but I know we can manage them. I want you to handle them. I have others here. I can continue with them, but I first want you to answer some of those ones.
Yeah, all your folks, ba me ba de nyangere. Ijo ba ne nje de are redini. Ba anjo de ba parliament ya daki. Muke agbari anyangolo eni na parliament ya erde adre angere risi. And you are man nje de are realo anyangolo da richi, but mani nerea card to speaker vore eri budget speaker peni inyani MPs to like it. Eli di madia akatro fighting, but still e chonenga aro je amardiako. Yo kanete amancho yerere e fight sokene le parliament ma e de budget kilili kate chora ba meshi budget MPs da imasikiri. Eli dusi e nga sende ma gakwa ziko e choza manaro mombo kutuzu ne njilaki shizu anira. Ijo bani chozo corruption e fight zure iringa Uganda dia iringa liduangere e chona nga ojaro overnight ko te yo corruption chozo muzu Uganda dezo redor masi redor misi redor mifu akoda ikazi nga eka hefu wakani ini aro bani feri aro chopaza masa kozo radri mini cho sene suruko ikarmale mbapi ni idu choki muzu nemi private working kasuko da yo amancho gakini idozu da askundre anji amardi nge do ejo amane ngadi neda anda mavinga ikini ba government mazinga badi mane gikini anji yusuki ikinga corruption na evu amata aikosi MPs kakita eyo kiliringa president katemu boldly against this kind of issue. You know, I've always been giving reference to Kagame because of hiring. But also the president himself also fired some ministers like Nadu. But of course, the issue here is even when we come with the policies in this country that Mensuagu is very corrupt, why do we keep this person in office? Why do we transfer this person from one entity to another? So the issue of when corruption started is something for research. I cannot answer it.
It is subject of research.
Yes, it is subject for research for all of us.
Okay.
But the issue is the virus is eating us.
Okay.
And it's something we need to work. Thank you.
Actually, before Collins will summarize, and then Leti will come in, because we are left with 7 minutes.
Our former DP la loi mani ugu kala fe Uganda to diro Ati where amati ado ba chama Kampala amadi mba me represent wa keta de amedo ko be go na school like if that ati to.
Someone is saying, why is it that there are many anti-corruption units? It's still in high gear, and the top officials are corrupt.
That is part of employment in
they
Uganda.
will fail to control.
That is a part of employment in Uganda now.
As
school,
I think.
farmer baron ve anti-corruption diki later may fight diki then they give back the feedback of what they've got.
Exactly.
Ata mami al matedo ndugu mini example ni feru dia disi.
Yeah, boys.
Mangoro diri. Repersa de IGG la. Seliazia. No tangible report from
They are
IGG.
investigating on about.
Which investigation takes place for 6 months, 6 years, and it is nothing done. Banner kiba ke breaking.
Allow the law to
This
take its
is
course.
so oguo kisa de Uganda mbamba kalafi amadu ni turasi midrikal linivda ile roguo rupere ni mina accountability fere.
Okay.
Kanga mina accountability fere kuda ki oguo ke.
Okay.
Hiketi ya mavudia.
In 2 minutes.
Ale yodini afazi mini muiji e tourist patriotic de. Sa ma school la zoro se afazi patriotic ni yo. Uganda was loved naturally. Eyo patriotic ni muicha en kini eye meze yo mingi lepa malemi ngofuse. That is the meaning of patriotism. Meze yo wala malemi adro koda de yenka bale andra Uganda sada. I was NRM back in the of yellow. Magari ngili blue di ba di anju mu boti be tubrieda 7 pali 96 I think 2001 se. Ere mutaki sanja anja ma voti asira. Until because I knew there was no patriotism. Seven kaga Uganda and leko. Then why should you say Leti should love? Because Uganda lera Uganda chanisa said my level up. By the way, ndugu I must be clear. Next time you tap yep Uganda there level nga power nga a fairly controls. Because people are sleeping hungry, people do not have money, people are selling their assets, banks are taking their property. Miandra la kitanda dire miandra la golofa sase bale imudo la ndrijwa ndugu agudi ko ni du dire ayosuru. So Museveni has failed to love Uganda. He has taken Uganda back to fire line. So ele such patriotism emphasizing. You want to tell people to love Uganda. What were we doing? Was there demonstration the other year when we were in the world? So finally, you as patriotism, don't force it on people. First, love the people. So patriotism, or come to us, then we agree that speaker go somewhere. John Akiba Muziki, afa chitutu. Mi afanya Akiba Muziki ba mo go send back to Uganda Treasury.
That's patriotism.
Overkini. That is nothing. I must be clear. So it can take up my joke uziba. I can do Mudisio Malia, Joazandra Manisima, Musarazandra Manikani, like I can tell teacher Andra, Membanga, Andra Jikari, Jofa Garziani, Asiandra Jo, I'm really Bodama Bara, Memujoisi, Bakama Farikuzi because they were genuine. Ekapazima Fuzi, no one will touch Ugandan money. So, in short, don't force anybody for patriotism. The human law, Ugandan spirit, there's nothing like patriotism. We should love Uganda.
Summarize.
Our four listeners, you're letting Zediki, Zakira, but your other patriotism is not force. But it is all about love, by the way. It's about love. But in summary, your corruption, let us all go back to the self-audit.
Yeah.
Balolo madroi mapamvu akuselia sedale. Akada mapamvu dokuselia sibo balo wala manti pe kampala likinga de mavu dia kagusu amorede dia aleki corruption kubo they not have grounds of staying with us. Let us create for them social isolation for these thieves.
Okay.
Then let us all focus on integrity. Integrity is very, very paramount at this juncture. We must ensure we all adopt integrity in all aspects of our life.
Okay.
By doing all this, I believe, but inclusively, not sparing anybody out of this, regardless of your party affiliations, regardless of your religion, regardless of your other ethnicities. Let us instill integrity in ourselves. We shall fight corruption.
Thank you for coming.
I'll tell you, MPs are mavdi yakil corruption ko. To the people's information, MPs are mavdi yakil corruption ko. Corruption are mavdi are mapapi marukiti. MPs about there. By the way, they don't know what is happening in Uganda. Most of them, they are not there in ministerial posts. They are not there in big offices. They are not even there in commissioner. Only Amadri and you may Chelsea. Maybe the commissioner for health. But Mama MPs America. And you have that problem. Any budget you approve without reading the content line. That's where the problem is.
Okay.
Our MPs about their chance in the